My name is Jamal Al Sharif. I'm chairman of Dubai Film and TV Commission. Also, I work as a chief commercial officer for Dubai Creative Cluster Authority for Dubai government. Well, the commission was established officially in 2012 as a decree from the Executive Council under the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed Al Maktoum, Crown Prince of Dubai. The role of the Film Commission is basically to be or to become the one-stop shop for all filmmakers or any content maker in Dubai. And the reason that this Film Commission office was put up really to ease up the business of content makers in Dubai or in general in UAE as well. In the past, before the Film Commission existed, you had to go through multiple channels to obtain a permit or to get services or to find your partner, or I would say your provider or supplier of filmmaking services. Therefore, it was time consuming. Plus it was money, cost. And of course, it was not the one-stop shop service that you could always imagine if you're coming to Dubai. Therefore, in 2012, we announced it officially. However, the activity of Film Commission existed before that under Dubai Studio City since 2006 when we started with this project. We go back to Dubai Media City, the inception of this whole media cluster in early 2000. The Dubai government has thought very carefully about this product and this project. Basically, if you go back to 1999 with the announcement of Dubai Internet City, the idea was to attract foreign investments in that sector to Dubai and basically look at the which I call it is the new form of revenue, or the smart revenue that the city can generate. Therefore, Dubai Media City was established in early 2000 to attract media organizations from all over the world to consider Dubai as a hub for them, which it happened really quickly and fast. In a matter of years, from 2000 to 2005, I recall the total of number of companies reached by then 700 media companies. Today, we celebrate over 2,000 media companies in Dubai, in between Media City and Studio City. However, somewhere in between 2004 and 5, we have noticed a big demand on production facilities, and it continued to grow within the Media City, cluster. So strategically, the TCOM investments, or TCOM group, thought of developing a new city that caters into the back office of these media companies, which is the production. Many of those companies in Media City used their offices or used some part of Media City to film or to shoot or to broadcast or to carry their content. So you had to have a film city that supports that type of business, not just the office space and the back office, but also the production side. So it's a factory at the end of the day. So strategically, we decided on placing Dubai Studio City to be the support business to these media companies. And this is what's happening today on reality, actually, which you see it outside here in the boutique studios behind us over here, or the sound stages that has been built. So the project basically started after long research with the business partners and the companies who existed in Media City, which some actually expanded, and they have big studios here today. So they have actually asked us to expand this infrastructure, add more value to it, give them the facilities and services that was missing in that part of town. That was one major point. And of course, the second point, Dubai always been the pioneer in the business hub in many multiple industries. So media was one of them. And we realized that the region, UAE itself and the region requires such infrastructure, advanced infrastructure that supports media development. And here we are. We have actually one of the largest sound stages ever built in Middle East and North Africa. It could be the largest if you look at it to Europe even, although there are few in Europe, but they are not considered a sound stage. They are just warehouses, but these are proper design sound stage for film, TV, multi-use with its offices and so on. Plus we have the boutique studios, plus we have other facilities that are within the business park of Studio City. This is the challenge that every, I would say, entrepreneur city has. The media development and the media landscape is very entrepreneurial still in UAE. It's still a baby, and it's growing, and it's growing, I would say, organically. You expect this in any city when it starts to attract new clusters, such as media development. We start with the script writing, with storytelling. There are so many stories. However, we haven't seen yet that story that we like out there on a film or a TV series yet. And I believe that to be discovered soon. The local talents are limited. They just got into this business in the past 15, 20 years, not much. Although the TV industry goes back in UAE to, I would say, probably late 60s. You will find black and white, absolutely, that has been produced here by local TV networks, or even in the region. However, we have been pushing ourselves very slowly and organically, as I said, to develop that industry through different workshops and different, activities around town in the past years to develop the skills of our local talents, Emirati talents, all the residents of UAE talents. And we're hoping that slowly we will pick up, and in a few years we should see strong storytellers and script writers in this region. However, the region has a strong base. Not to forget Egypt, Jordan, Morocco. If you go a little bit to North Africa, you would find the strongest storytellers and script writers. But UAE still is very, infant in it. It's picking up, as you said. When it comes to film financing, film funding, again, another challenge. But it's slowly working out, and I still see, and I see the light end of the tunnel really closer now, comparing to 10 years back. Because I worked on financing or raising funds for certain films in the past, Hollywood, Bollywood, and some Arabic films as well too. The appetite is there, however the structure is not there. And that requires not just the government, it requires also private sector involvement and the banking sector involvement, which is not there yet. Since the topic, it's very, how should I say, the topic is very not mature in these organizations yet. The topic of tourism, the topic of real estate, the topic of retail, it's something that we know of. But when it comes to the topic of funding films, it's a gray area to so many organizations. So let's not compare today this organization, what we have here, to Hollywood or Bollywood. They're mature. They are 100 years old of history. They created themselves. Very strong. But I think we could learn a lot where we could focus on small films, small productions, raising small funds, and not necessarily millions of hundreds of millions, because that's not the case. The case is the story, a budget that could support the story, and a good promoter to promote that content very strongly to make that money. And that's the link is always. I think we're getting there. We have, as I told you earlier, we have worked on raising few funds of films in Dubai. I'm hoping that in the years coming up, we should have a structure that supports young, talented filmmakers on their production. And there were few organizations that they were providing like awards and funds to create small short films that still exists. But that should grow on, and I see that's coming. But again, we're growing very organically and slowly, and it's going to take some time till we reach where others reached.